Okay, picture this. You wake up, pour your coffee, and glance at your schedule. You've got exactly one important meeting, and it's at 2 p.m. Now, logically, you have hours and hours to get things done. But instead of actually tackling your projects, your brain just completely refuses to do any real work all morning. You kind of pace around, you check the time, and you feel utterly paralyzed. Well, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to break down exactly why your brain freezes time like this, and more importantly, how to conquer it. I want you to sit with this question for a second. How many hours of your life have you lost just waiting? Waiting for that mid-afternoon event to happen. Think about that immense, heavy guilt that builds up right in your chest by the time the meeting finally starts. You haven't done anything productive, yet you are completely exhausted. It's a massive frustration for sure, but as we'll see, it's actually deeply rooted in a neurological glitch. Section 1. The waiting mode trap, a neurological glitch. Let's say you wake up at 8 a.m. and your only concrete obligation for the day is a Zoom call at 3 p.m. Logically, you're telling yourself you have this massive, beautiful, uninterrupted window of time. But your body? Yeah, your body doesn't feel like you have time at all. Your nervous system is basically acting as if that 3 p.m. appointment is happening in exactly 5 minutes. Because of this, you literally can't start a deep creative project. You can't dive into complex research. Instead, you're just trapped in this loop of endless scrolling, maybe answering some trivial emails, and just existing in this state of constant low-level anxiety. Section 2. Understanding time blindness, executive dysfunction. You know, the easiest thing to do here is to blame ourselves, right? To call ourselves lazy or undisciplined. Well, I want to officially absolve you of that guilt right now because this is absolutely not a character flaw. What you're actually experiencing is called time blindness. It's a neurological difficulty in accurately judging the passage of time, and it's deeply tied to executive dysfunction. Your brain quite literally has a structural difficulty measuring how long tasks truly take to complete. It's like your internal clock is just spinning erratically. Look at how this unreliable internal clock completely distorts reality. In perceived time, your brain might confidently tell you that writing a quick email is going to take, 5 minutes? But in actual time, it takes you 40. On the flip side, your brain might scream that cleaning the kitchen is going to take 3 grueling hours, when in reality, it only takes 15 minutes. When your internal clock is this profoundly unreliable, your brain honestly has no idea how to safely navigate a wide-open schedule. Let's use an analogy to put this into perspective. Imagine trying to cook a massive, highly complicated meal without a kitchen timer, all while knowing you have to leave your house at a very specific second for an incredibly important appointment. You wouldn't even start cooking, right? The risk of losing track of time and, burning the house down or missing your appointment is just way too high. Starting a deep, engaging task without a reliable internal timer is literally terrifying to your nervous system. So, what does your mind do? It institutes a protective freeze response. It entirely shuts down your ability to initiate complex tasks. It knows that if you get deeply engaged in something else, you might completely lose track of reality and miss that 3 p.m. commitment. Listen, your brain isn't broken. This shutdown is actually your brain's brilliant coping mechanism. It's just trying to keep you safe from failing your commitments. Section 3. The threat of open time. The danger. Okay, we need to completely flip the script on what's actually causing your stress here. Because that 3 p.m. Zoom call, not the villain. The true villain is this: 6 hours. That massive, unstructured block of open time before your appointment. When you have 6 hours of completely free, unstructured time, it doesn't feel like a gift. To someone with time blindness, it feels like a threatening void. It's an ocean of ambiguity, and ambiguity makes the primitive part of your brain absolutely smash the panic button. And here's exactly why that open time is so exhausting. Look at this. A staggering 85% of your mental energy is being burned up simply trying to make unstructured decisions about what to do next. Without a rigid schedule, your brain has to constantly negotiate with itself. Should I read a book? Should I start that spreadsheet? Wait, is there enough time? That leaves only 15% of your energy for actual task execution. No wonder you feel drained. So this brings us to a massive twist that actually surprises a lot of high achievers. Having too much free time actually creates vastly more stress for your nervous system than having a busy, packed day. Crazy, right? But when your schedule is entirely blank, your mind perceives that emptiness as a literal threat. Because it doesn't know what's supposed to happen right now, it defaults to focusing on the only urgent thing on the horizon. Yep, that 3 p.m. appointment. Section 4, the Anchor Point Protocol, Curing Waiting Mode. To cure this, we use a framework called the Anchor Point Protocol. The absolutely crucial step here is removing the anxiety of the open void by building artificial walls. So at 8 a.m., you're staring into that void. To fix this, you insert an anchor task at a specific time, let's say 9:30 a.m. Now, this isn't just a casual item on a to-do list. It is a rigid, non-negotiable mini deadline placed directly in the middle of your open morning. And right after it, at 10:15 a.m., you place a hard stop. You are breaking that terrifying void into highly specific, safe, manageable chunks. Instead of vaguely telling your brain, hey, we have until 3 p.m. to do whatever, you're now telling your brain from 9:30 to 10:15, we are doing exactly this one specific task, and then we immediately stop. By placing a hard stop on that task, you essentially signal safety to your nervous system. You provide an absolute guarantee to your brain that you will not accidentally keep working until 3 p.m. and miss your meeting. The threat vanishes, and boom, your executive function comes right back online.
Section 5, externalize your clock. Enforce boundaries.
Now, this final step is non-negotiable because you absolutely cannot trust your internal sense of time. Here is the 3-part formula. Step 1, identify that massive open block of time that usually causes you to freeze. Step 2, split it up with a specific anchor task that has a hard start and stop time. And step 3, enforce those boundaries with an external physical alarm. You have to take the responsibility of timekeeping and put it onto a tool outside of your own body. You must set a loud physical alarm on your phone or your desk for the exact end of your anchor point. Please do not rely on just feeling when 45 minutes have passed because we already established your brain kind of sucks at that. When you know with absolute certainty that a loud alarm is going to pull you out of the task, your brain can finally let out a massive sigh of relief. It can drop its guard, stop watching the clock, and actually let you enter deep, productive focus. Waiting mode is really just a brilliant defense mechanism designed by a brain that struggles to measure time, but you don't have to be a victim to it. Externalize your boundaries, build your anchors, and take your mornings back. You can actually restructure these frustrating waiting periods into periods of incredibly deep work. Which leaves us with this final question. Look at your schedule for tomorrow. What 30-minute task will you anchor in your morning? Seriously. Don't just passively consume this information. To start fixing this right now, jump into the description below and grab the free daily anchor point template. Map out your schedule, place those hard stops, set your external alarms, and finally unpause your day. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.